everything. I mean, they have the poke, the peel. They have a little bit of setting, but to be honest, like right now, I'm more into RRQ's draft than Fireflux. They do have a couple key picks, which the last 2 picks could be the make it or break it for the team comp. But again, there's so much open. Right now, they need to start targeting the gold lane. I mean, they could target the gold lane. Sunshine's actually been a complete menace. I do like the Valentina ban, though. I mean, that could be that they're going to be picking some heroes that they just don't want the mid lane to be stolen. I mean, Nana still available, so yeah. You have some good picks. You have Vexana. Like RRQ still has a lot of loaded picks available.
They also need to ban on the side of RRQ. On the side of Fireflux, we still need a jungler. We still need a gold lane. So RRQ going to kind of hammer into the gold lane since they've already picked up Claude. We take out the Brody. I mean, we take out the Bruno. Maybe we take out the Ixia, something like that. Maybe we, I mean, the, what else? The Clint's become kind of popular. I think it's been more of just RQ picking it up a little bit in the past, or AP Bren has actually picked it up as well. That's another gold lane pick that is kind of sky rocketed in. There goes the Vexana ban. So this leaves RRQ with just, she did take some slight changes. Kind of surprised we didn't see as much of her, but she still has been viable. She still has made some crazy plays in the playoffs. So in the hands of Octa, excited to see how it goes.
I knew the carry was about to come next. Just they have a tanky setup here with the Bashia pick into the jungle, the carry into the backline. You got 2 backline heroes, solid backline peel, and then a good frontal fence. So we'll see. RRQ against Fireflux. This is going to be an interesting match. I still personally, even with the Boxy and the Aurora pick, even though I think I would rather have seen like a Fairness or something like that, but I guess they're going a little bit more aggressive. So I still like RRQ's comp. I do think Fireflux could fight back here though.
All right. Let's get it started because we are about to jump into the land of Dawn for the 3rd place match, the first game of the last day of Game of Future. This is going to be RRQ Rex Regum Kaon up against Flux Esports. I'm excited to see how this goes. Lay us down, G. What do you think the win cons are? Who do you think's got the early game? Because we got plenty of time to talk with a quick pause.
I was about to say, I think a win condition here is pause. No. So, I mean, kind of diving into their comps here, right? Like, we have the Bashia versus a Fredrin. Again, the Fredrin and the Ruby are more on that healing, the sustain heroes. They're looking to stay alive and just control as much as possible. And I feel like that's where the Bashia scales it, right? Being able to roam fast, being able to have that built-in anti-heal really early, I think would be key, especially dealing with a Ruby. So I think that's the win condition for RRQ, is to just kind of keep them at bay, utilize the speed that you have in the jungle, and take control of the map and secure neutral objectives. For the side of Fireflux, though, I feel like they're really going to be the team that tries to bait RRQ out. They want to bait as much utility as they possibly can to then be able to engage. They did pick up the carry, so that's more of a late game marksman. So I would say that we'll see Fireflux do a little rough in the early stage. Once into the mid to late stage, I think if Fireflux is they're aiming for that part to then turn it around on them. And I feel like that's how Fireflux is going to win there. What do you have any different takes?
I mean, I think I'm thinking something similar. I want to take a quick look back at the draft real quick. Let me pull it up real quick. I do think, I mean, so they pick up the carry as their last pick for Fireflux. Definitely something that needs to scale. But RQ kind of along the same lines with the Claude, the Aurora, heavy CC on the side of RQ as well. The main thing that RQ is going to have to worry about when we get into a little bit in the later game is dealing with the Novaria, right? Dealing with that long range. They do have the Basha and they also have the Benedetta. So yeah, they have some answers to that. I feel like RQ has a few more answers than what Fireflux exactly does. The only real diver that Fireflux has is CC, who can dive but doesn't really cause that, like, the damage is there, but it's not something like a Labu or a Terizla that kind of causes CC and locks down the back line. It just kind of harasses the back line. Yes, the damage can very well be there and get the kills in, but Fireflux is still kind of lacking a way to shut down the Claude or shut down the Aurora. They're really kind of looking for the opportunity. It's more of just like a rollover you comp. We're going to come at you head on, and we're going to just try to kind of steamroll you down.
I can see it. I can see it. I also think that it'll come down to severe tactics, right? From the side of Fireflux, their positioning's going to have to be like on point. They're going to have to utilize probably again, they don't want to get steamrolled too early, so probably a little bit passive in the early stage, because Fredrin's not going to jungle as fast as Bashia, right? So I feel like that'd be the key, is to watch out for that, and then just positioning. Overall, how fast the EXP can rotate and help, I feel like will be a benefit for Fireflux. That's what the CC is capable of doing. But so does Banana, right? Like the Benedetta is just insane at movement, and there's already quite the game happening here in the middle.
All right. I'm excited for it. Finally jumping into game number 1. Luckily, the pause wasn't too long. Now, you mentioned EXP laners, and I want to touch on that because I do believe that the way that whoever kind of ends up winning out, I think, in this EXP lane is going to be huge for each team. Both of these EXP laners have the ability to rotate pretty quickly. Both of these EXP laners, I think, are going to be crucial in the fights. But look at the Frozen already on to Apex 47. RQ already showing some heavy aggression, kind of taking control of the river, but Banana taking some damage as well. This is not your typical bulky EXP laners. They're definitely going at it.
We are having some technical difficulties in game here. Again, I just kind of going back onto the EXP spot. I do like what's kind of going down there. You can tell that each side has that poke and that peel, and I think it'd be just outmatching that, right? If CC can keep the Benedetta at bay and not allow her to rotate, I feel like that'd be a win for RQ, right? But if she's able to win the lane and be able to rotate, then that's a huge win for Fireflux. So we'll see how it goes out there. Now, a Claude against a carry, if I'm not mistaken, like a Claude definitely is going to be shining against a carry in the lane. So I feel like it's going to be a little bit harder for the carry in the early stage. It's going to definitely rely on the minnow to roam a little bit, but the minnow also has that sustainability, which is what I think is going to be, again, both sides have the sustainability, but more RRQ has that, they can initiate the sustainability versus the other team just has it passively depending on hitting minions and heroes. So I think it'll come down to key plays by the minnow as well.
I think one of the things that RRQ Hoshi does have going for them here is they do have a lot of mobility, right? You mentioned it with the Basha. He's going to be able to move around, clears camps quick. You also have the Claude, who's known for being able to jump around, BMI in and out of the fight, make quick moves, gets a speed boost with passive and everything. And they also have the Benedetta. So it's just a fast-moving, aggressive composition. You add that, you layer that up with the CC supplied from the Aurora, the CC supplied from the Minotaur, and it is definitely deadly. Fireflux, I see them a bit more just kind of grouping up, wanting RRQ Hoshi to come to them, using the Ruby as kind of the stopping point, the thing to kind of slow down RRQ and all of their movements. And if they can pull that off, I think if Fireflux can kind of stick in the game here, they do have some very good scaling here. They're just going to need to be careful of those big CC plays, of those big plays coming from the Minotaur and the Aurora, because if they are too grouped up and they get hit by something like that, it is going to be bad when it's paired up with something like the Blazing Duet.
Yeah, and I think ultimately that's why RRQ went with more of the Basha, was just because it has that mobility and can avoid the Ruby. But we're going to be getting back into the game for a second time here. Well, let's get it, Trex. Let's see what actually goes down. Kind of wanted to know what was really causing some issues there, but hey, Ooh, Tizzy hitting him with the the fade, man.
The glacier.
That's what I was saying.
Oh man, that bro.
He is.
Aurora, the CC from Aurora is honestly insane. This is one of the reasons why I expected to see a bit more of her. With the way that the meta is right now and how reliant so many comps are on heavy CC, you're having 3, sometimes 4 heroes that all have some sort of lockdown, all have some sort of freeze, all have some sort of immobility. It's just huge, and she